Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. Today, I want to do a little bit of a case study and have us to think and answer questions about one particular stock. That stock is Micron. The ticker symbol is MU. Why are we talking about this company? Well, they are in a little bit of a minor pickle, a small situation, but also they could be set up to have significant growth here in the near-term future. Why is that? Well, number one, remember, tech has been quite good. It's been so good that I've done 2 videos on it, or at least 1 video and 1 list. We did a list of 5 tech stocks you want to have your eye on, and then as I members only, I published a list of 10 stocks, 10 tech stocks that are incredibly good right now. Micron is not on either of those lists, but again, this could be one of those buy low, sell high moments. It could also be one of those value stock moments. But let's go ahead and break it down and talk about what they do, but also what's going on with the company and why I feel the way I do, because there are some red flags here too. Why should we pay attention to those red flags? And should these flags, are they red flags to begin with? I may see them as red flags, maybe you won't. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Micron, they're a chip maker, primarily memory chips. We know that these chips are extremely important. We also know, and this was announced about a day ago, if not earlier today, that China is now looking into or investigating the company due to some security issues. Now, China and the US have an ongoing beef when it comes to chips. There's a whole thing with Taiwan. I'm not going to get into all that type of stuff because it is a complex global situation that I am not qualified to discuss, but a lot of these stocks and companies are tied into it. So the CAC, I think it's a Cyber Security Administration of China, they're looking into it. That's why Micron was down about 4% today. But here's the thing. Over the last 6 months, the company is up more than 20%. And then if I look at the last year, I take a step back, then we're looking at like a 23% drop in the stock. And they also, again, just announced earnings, but from Q1 of 2023, there are some things that did not go well. In fact, scroll down here and look on my screen, their revenue down by half. They lost 52% in revenue from Q1 2023 to the prior year. And then if I look at their net income, the profit, they're negative 202%. Okay, they lost double, basically, what they had from the prior year. Now, in most situations, that ain't something you would invest in, or at least that's not something I would be excited investing in. However, here's the thing: behind every stock, behind every chart, behind all that stuff is always a company, and there's a business, and behind all of that, they are about sales and what they expect to happen and supply and demand. When it comes to supply and demand, remember, AMD, Nvidia, and obviously Micron, as well as several others, Intel you can throw in there, Taiwan Semiconductor you can throw in there, they've been suffering through a chip shortage and have been doing so for the better part of almost 2.5 years. Micron specifically had what they call a glut of inventory, meaning, which sounds like a terrible word, but because of that, they had a lot of chips they couldn't sell. And they lost a lot of money from doing that. The CEO, as well as other analysts, say, look, that they've cleared that up. It is time to get back on the ball. It's time for them to start selling, and that they should be doing that between the second half of this year and going into 2024. So this would be what some people would call is the bottom of this particular side of their income statement and their balance sheet and their cash flow statement. Saying that means this: you lost money, you sold all the stuff you need to sell, you are past that phase, and now you're able to sell things normally, which means that if I'm looking at this now, and I'll show you this, you see this net income, the last 2 quarters has dropped significantly. Well, what does that mean now? Now, if your inventory is done, everything is clear, that means that the next time you're going to see a significant jump in net income. You're going to see a significant jump, or you could see a significant jump in revenue and income, and that's going to make the stock look quite attractive. The problem is this: one, it has not happened yet. That if you are investing in this company, you're stepping out on faith and saying, this is the point where I'm buying low because I know or I feel that things are going to be much better than what it is now, which honestly, it's hard to do worse than losing 200%. I mean, it has to be very difficult to do worse than losing 200%. So this could be the bottom in many people's eyes. The second part is, what about a recession? Is this something that is recession proof or recession resistant? Now that one I don't necessarily know. I do know that people use chips all the time, and the other issue is people were using chips last year and didn't go well. So that's two things that you do have to look at, and that's two things that might fall into that red flag category. The other thing is this AI boom is a real thing, even if it's just a fad. Now I don't know whether or not it's going to be a big fad. I can tell you that cryptocurrencies, the metaverse, NFTs, they all came and went. Okay, now I think that AI is more of a thing than a fad, just based on, you know, Siri and all these speakers that I don't want to turn on and all kind of stuff just by speaking. Those are, that is an AI system that just gotten much more improved nowadays. But Micron is the beneficiary of that. Could this be their time to rise? And most importantly for Micron, is this the best value for what you can get right now? And we've talked about NVIDIA in the past. We may or may not have talked about NVIDIA inside the members only, but that stock is already up, I don't know, 130 some odd % just in the last, 3 months or so. Yeah, that's, many people would rightly call that one overpriced. Micron is not. And could this be one of those situations where this is the next big thing? This is the one that is undervalued, the one that you could buy, nurture for the long term, and perhaps see significant gains in the, let's say, the next 6 to 8 months. That is a possibility. Now, currently, do I own Micron? I do not. What I am going to do with the company, though, is take that into our book club, which is a great segue for those who have not joined our book club yet. Again, I'm putting together the schedule, perhaps an email list so we can communicate about what chapters we're going to read, all that type of stuff. We are going to read The Intelligent Investor. Yes, from beginning to end, as thick as that book is. So I've already started to kind of get some outlines and stuff together. I think we got at least four or five of y'all that say that y'all want to be there and that y'all book is coming to mail. Go get it. Go to the library this weekend and join it so we can start to get a better sense of, one, what the book is about and how to apply it to today's standard and how to look at stocks in a better light. So Micron is going to be the one that I'm going into this book with in terms of everything I'm learning. I want to compare it to Micron, see if it's a value or not. Currently, I don't own it. Perhaps by the time we are done reading the book, maybe I'll have a better view and opinion of the company. So if you're a part of the book club, and I'll probably put out a separate video for this at some point, I want you to have a stock in mind, and we're going to kind of analyze those together. Maybe we have one stock as a group, or you can have a stock individually as we kind of go through the entire book. So that is what you need to know about Micron. I do want to know your thoughts, yes, about the book club, but also about Micron. Is this one of those situations where, hey, look, this is undervalued. This is a value stock for me. This is something I can get into. I know tech is doing well. And over the last 6 months, this company has done well too. Is this the time to get in? Or do you think that the financials behind it is something that's not going to fly? We'd love to hear your thoughts about that. And as always, you want to make sure that you join our members only. Right here, you can get that list of 10 tech stocks that I think are absolutely fantastic. Right now, we'll also be dropping another video over the weekend, and we're going to analyze one of the 10 stocks depending on what the comments are. So I don't know which one. They got to tell me which one they want me to analyze from that list. All right, that is it for me. I will see y'all on Monday.